But I realize that experience is different and expertise is different. The way we think, the way we work, and the role that we play in society and in our families are all different from individual to individual. And I believe that in the future, we will need even more diversity. So concentrate on yourself, find your strength, and it will help you shine. Good afternoon. Today, I would like to talk to you under the title of Women and the Tech Industry, Challenges and Growth. I am Sujin An, pleased to meet you. In the video, we introduced the memory business of Samsung Electronics, and I'm in charge of the development of flash memories. Let me introduce what I do at Samsung. Well, you have heard the word Pyeongtaek Campus. It actually is about building a factory that's 2 to 3 times the size of a soccer field, and it's actually using bricks and steels less than the thickness of 1/10 of a strand of hair to build a building that is hundreds of stories tall, just in the size of a fingernail. We call these chips, and in your smartphones, there are over a dozen semiconductor chips included. So, what makes a tech industry like the semiconductor industry attractive? I believe that it's very attractive because of the limitless ripple effect. Electricity, smartphones, internet. Can you imagine your life without these 3 things? When I thought about what I should be doing with my life, at that time the country promoted science and technology, and they built universities that focused on science and technology. At that time, we made a lot of efforts to become a global powerhouse in technology. I loved math and science, and I also loved finding solutions to new problems, and that's why I decided to study engineering. At that time, I didn't have clear role models for engineering, and I didn't expect that I would be compensated all that much after I got my degree. But at that time, I was attracted to engineering because I believe that technology had the power to change the world. Just like yourselves, I wanted to contribute to society along with my personal growth. Of course, to contribute to society, you can participate in volunteer programs or you can become a policymaker. But I do believe that one of the biggest ways to contribute is through the technology industry. With that choice, I was able to jump into the quickly growing industry, and I'm able to meet you on stage today because of that choice. In the late 1990s, when internet became a part of our everyday lives, I received my doctorate degree in electric engineering and started my career in Samsung as an engineer. I was a part of a 30-member team to develop next-generation DRAMs. Currently, I am heading the team to develop next-generation flash memories, and I have 450 people in my team. During the last 24 years, how did I continue to develop semiconductors as a technology expert and as a business leader? How did I continue to grow as a business leader? I asked my husband, what do you think is the answer? Well, I thought he would answer like this: you worked really hard. But he actually added, weren't you also really lucky? You always had great mentors surrounding you. Well, I had thought that he would think that I'm the perfect fit for the semiconductor industry, or I thought he might say that I'm a genius in this industry, but that's not what he said. But when I listened to his answers, I actually nodded in agreement. Because when I ask myself the same question, and when I talk to other people who are just starting out their careers, I always talk about three things. I want to share those 3 points with you. When is it the most difficult to challenge yourself? Well, when I was growing up, I think I was someone who tried to fulfill my expectations. I tried to be perfect in whatever I did, and I made a lot of effort to make sure that I achieved. When I first joined Samsung, I had an opportunity to present at an international symposium. At that time, my father was a bit ill, and I felt quite anxious to go overseas because I didn't want to be far away from my father. And at the same time, I wasn't confident enough to think that I would be a good presenter. And my child was very young, so I didn't know if I could make the time. I had all these worries, and I was hesitant to make a final decision. But one day I met my boss, and my boss said, "Don't worry. If you really want to, just do it." Well, that statement did not get rid of all my worries, but at that moment, I felt like I was no longer afraid of the final result. I was able to challenge myself, and I went to the symposium and presented. And that actually propelled me to live up to other challenges in the future. We tend to worry about uncertainties in the future, and we're always afraid of rejection. And you're also afraid of having a glitch in your successful track record. But if you don't challenge yourselves, of course you won't be hurt, but at the same time, you would not be able to enjoy any growth. So when I challenged myself, at times I was not satisfied with the results. Looking back, all of those successes and failures helped me grow. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be afraid. If you want, just challenge yourself. Let me now get to my second point. Don't compare yourself with others. Concentrate on your strengths. The semiconductor industry is an art that can be created with the cooperation of thousands of experts. When I go to work in the morning, I'm always faced with new challenges that did not exist in the world ever before. As a team, we come up with ideas to find solutions, and that propels us to grow. But yesterday's answers may not be the answer tomorrow because technology changes very quickly. You have to learn every day. I feel pressured to learn every day so that I don't fall behind. Within the same team, I always meet people who are outstanding. And when I collaborate with them, I'm able to come up with results. Growth means that we need to collaborate, but at the same time, competition is also very important. If I continue to compare myself with others, and if I tried to mimic others, then I don't think I would be able to do my job for such a long time. I think I would have been too tired to come this far. But I realize that experience is different and expertise is different. The way we think, the way we work, and the role that we play in society and in our families are all different from individual to individual. I leverage my expertise as someone with a doctorate in electric engineering, and I have a strength in theories rather than experimentation. And I like to converge different technologies. And I always try to contribute to the overall result with what I can do. And so, thanks to that, I have been able to have had diverse experience related to memory development, and I have also been able to participate in symposiums around the world, which becomes a strength in my career. And I believe that in the future, we will need even more diversity. So concentrate on yourself, find your strength, and it will help you shine. The third point that I would like to deliver is that you need to be proactively looking for great mentors. When I was an engineer without a lot of experience, and when I first became a manager of a new project, And when I suddenly had to play the role of a leader in my organization, I felt lost at times, and I sometimes doubted my abilities. Whenever that happened, I would always look for mentors and ask for help. At the office, some people may have looked cold and strict, but once you knock on their doors, they would find time for me. At times, I felt so hurt because of the cold reality they reminded me of, but at times they encouraged me and gave me courage. Sometimes they would share their experience, and sometimes they would just be good listeners. Finding good mentors, was that just luck that I fell upon? I do believe that if you proactively ask people, it will lead to good luck of finding great mentors. At times, you look for people who are similar to you, people who are great role models who succeed in similar circumstances. But to be a good mentor, to find good mentors, you don't necessarily have to have commonalities. Just find someone who will listen to your concerns. They can all be your mentors. It's been more than 2 decades since I have worked in this industry. Now I'm a mentor to others. In the tech industry, there are women who wish to create their own careers at this point in time. I want to say, be bold and challenge yourself in this industry. Proactively look for mentors so that you will be supported. Let's take a look at the change of women participation in the tech industry or the semiconductor industry that I belong to. Samsung's Sustainable Growth Division came up with this graph. 1999 was when I first started my career, and at that time there is not a lot of statistics available. If you take a look here, the blue is the number of women engineers in R&D. The green is the number of middle managers. So as you can see, in 1999, less than 10% of the engineers were women, and there were hardly any middle managers who were women. What about 2023? Over 20% of the engineers are women, and 17% of middle managers are women, and 78% of executives are women. You can see that the numbers have grown. Take a look at the white. This is the percentage of women in engineering colleges. You can see that the percentage is close to 30%. I hope that one day they will find their way to Samsung Electronics, and if they do so, then by 2050, we may possibly reach the biological ratio between men and women. 2 decades ago, everyone doubted me. They said, can a woman actually grow in the tech industry and create value? The people who worked before me and the people who are working like myself are the answer to this doubtful question. AI, robot, autonomous driving, all of this was a part of our imagination in the past, but now it's becoming a reality in the tech industry. We will see an automation of manual labor, and diverse participation, regardless of gender, will become the competitive power for the tech industry and countries around the world. We are seeing aging in all societies, and we are also seeing that population is decreasing in some. And so the number of people in the labor market will decrease. So women participation will no longer be optional. The future tech industry has their doors wide open for your participation. Leverage what you have and make sure that you are supported by mentors surrounding you. And I hope you will be able to lead your careers in this industry. Thank you very much.